recently did like a little powwow with some other investors, and I realized that my butt was kind of hanging out there because I didn't have any umbrella insurance. Get 24 responses here, so that's actually a pretty good sample size, I think. Recently did like a little powwow with some other investors, and I realized that my butt was kind of hanging out there because I didn't have any umbrella insurance. You want to build your cash flow up with different aspects like LLCs or irrevocable trusts or umbrella life insurance. You can't just stockpile all of one thing, like just have a boat or just have really tall walls. It's kind of an all-encompassing way to protect the fort. So this was something, a big hole in my game. So I went in and I think I got like a $2 million policy. I can't remember. I think it cost me like 500 or $1,000 a year. But it got me kind of thinking, like, what is everybody else doing out there? So I posed this question out to the group. The first question was, what percent in, how much dollars are you guys having? It looks like almost half of us that either don't have any or didn't know that they needed any. And I was in that situation just a little while ago, so don't feel bad. Most people are going with the $1 million policy or the $2 million policy. Some others are doing the $5 million policy, about 12%. So see where you fit there. It's always a two-pointed question in terms of, how much are you protecting, right? Because one of the best asset protections is being broke and not owning anything. So here, I wasn't able to, I don't think I'll ever have the time to kind of create like a metadata report where I would show like, what are the guys $4 million and above doing, but here is the breakdown of the net worth in the group who, again, half of them are accredited, half are non-accredited investors. That I was trying to protect in my head is, yeah, I have auto insurance, I have all these entities, but what if on my way to the gym, I just run over grandma? This is what should kick in. And ideally, I'd like to probably pay them out a claim for that. I don't want to just hide behind my entities and not pay them anything. I think that's unfair. If I were to hit grandma, I would like her to get $1 million or $2 million or whatever. Here are some companies of who people are using: USAA, Geico, State Farm, Universal, State Farm.
The first one to pay out will always be your like your car insurance or your homeowners or your renters or whatever. And
right.
You want to have a $300,000 coverage at least, because your umbrella won't kick in until $300,000, and then it covers you for whatever that amount is above the $300,000. So if it's $1 million, it'll cover you up to like 1.3 million total.
Right. That sounds about right. I think every state is a little bit different of how low your coverage needs to be, but yeah,
Gotcha.
This kicks in after. I do have renter's insurance too. It's probably $1 million.
You just want to make sure your renter's liability will cover you at least to the minimum to where your umbrella starts covering you.
Did that like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I got an umbrella policy through USAA actually, and they made me increase the coverages on my auto insurance policy and my renter's insurance policy before they would allow me to take on an umbrella policy. So they're pretty strict.
What did they make you bump up the auto to?
So I had like 300,000 as far as liability, and they said I had to have at least 3. Okay.
What was it again?
1,000 per occurrence or 500 aggregate, which I thought was really high, but they said that's what they would require in order for me to enact an umbrella policy with them.
Yeah, the umbrella drives your underlying insurance. So once you get an umbrella, it'll drive what your underlying insurance coverages requirements are. Like 300, 500, I think, for like auto. And so like I have Allstate, but I can't have Allstate umbrella because my umbrella's bigger than also would cover. So
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think I have Allstate Auto and Allstate Umbrella, but that's not a bad idea to have you covered by two different companies, right?
I have Allstate for everything. Allstate took me outside. I had to go outside of Allstate to get my umbrella.
Do I feel that my net worth or investing style requires a greater liability coverage? The way I see the umbrella, that's again to protect me against any kind of, if I were to run over grandma driving my car. I mean, that's what I keep coming down to. It has nothing to do with anything I do business wise. Even if I was a really risky investor, that's not what it's covering. And a good way of thinking about it is there's inside out coverage and outside in coverage. I don't know which is which, but I'll call the outside in coverage. Say somebody slips and falls at one of your rentals. Yeah, somebody sues you. That's a tenant. That's coming from inside. The outside in would be if I run over grandma or I hurt a personal property or something like that, and they want to come after my assets from inside my entities or things I own.